Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful and honestly, one of the most misunderstood systems in the human body, our stress response. But more than just understanding it, we're going to lay out a clear framework for how you can actually master it, turning what feels like a liability into your single greatest asset. And we're able to bring you this explainer thanks to our sponsor, The Other Way, Personal Sovereignty and Safety, who are all about helping you manage pressure and take control of your environment. So let me start with a question for you. What if the very system that's designed to save your life in a crisis could also be the very thing that paralyzes you? That's the paradox we're going to unpack today. And the solution has a name: adrenaline response control. Now, this isn't about trying to suppress your body's natural reaction. It's about training yourself to stay sharp, to stay clear, and to be effective while that chemical surge is happening. It's about keeping your brain online when your body is screaming danger. This right here really gets to the heart of the challenge. On one hand, adrenaline is like high-octane fuel. It gives you these incredible boosts in speed, strength, and even pain tolerance. But, without control, that same power leads to a pretty certain crash. It just overwhelms your ability to think and tips you right into panic. The goal isn't to stop the fuel, it's to learn how to steer. So, before you can control the response, you've got to recognize it's happening in real time. And that brings us to our first section, spotting the warning signs that an adrenaline dump is well underway. How do you actually know when this chemical surge is starting to get the better of you? It's not just some vague feeling of panic. There are very distinct, very real physiological signals your body is sending you. And here are the big four. First up, tunnel vision. Your peripheral sight just vanishes. Then there's auditory exclusion, where sounds around you get muffled or maybe disappear altogether. Third, you get a loss of fine motor skills. Your hands suddenly feel clumsy, making simple tasks feel impossible. And finally, the famous adrenaline shake, that uncontrollable trembling. That's just excess energy with nowhere to go. Okay, so recognizing the signs, that's step one. Step two is actually taking back the controls. Let's move into section two, the manual override. This is the actionable part. What you can actually do the moment you feel that surge taking over. Now, before we break down the whole process, I want to mention a really powerful tool for this called the 3-minute clearing. Think of it as a strategic internal reset. It's specifically designed to break that biological lock of the freeze response and just bring your clarity back online during high pressure. When you master this little 180-second protocol, you learn to bypass that adrenaline-fueled tunnel vision and really move with intention. We've put a link to it for you down in the description. And of course, if you're getting something valuable out of this explainer, taking just a second to like, subscribe, and drop a comment, it really does help us out and allows us to keep making this content for you. We really appreciate the support. All right, let's get into this 4-step process to reclaim your system. It's a sequence. It starts with your breath, then moves to your senses. It grounds your body, and then it finishes with effective action. So let's break each one down. Step one is tactical breathing. It's a super simple box pattern. You inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. So why does this work? Well, your breathing is basically the one part of your automatic nervous system you can directly control. This pattern is like a manual lever you can pull to signal your brain to just lower the threat level. Next up is scan the perimeter. Now, this is a purely mechanical action. You just physically turn your head from side to side. This simple movement forces your brain to break the intense lock of tunnel vision and start processing new information from your environment. It literally reboots your situational awareness. Step 3 is to sync your weight. When you get stressed, think about it. Your shoulders tense up, they creep towards your ears, and your center of gravity rises. Your body is preparing for flight. What you want to do is consciously reverse that. Release that tension in your shoulders and feel your weight drop. This grounds that flight response and gets you ready for stable, powerful movement. And finally, step 4, use your large muscles. Forget about your fingers. Your fine motor skills are offline. Your real power right now is in your core, your hips, and your legs. These huge muscle groups stay reliable under pressure, so shift your focus to moving your entire body, not just your hands or your arms. Okay, so we've covered the warning signs and the manual override. Our final section is all about the mindset. This is section 3, mastering your internal chemistry. This is where we really make these principles a part of us. A question I get all the time is, can I just train myself to stop this from ever happening in the first place? And the answer is no. And honestly, you wouldn't want to. Remember, That adrenaline is fuel. It's what gives you that critical edge. The goal is never to stop the fuel from flowing. The goal is to stop the panic that can come with it, so you can stay in the driver's seat. Okay, here's another one. People feel that uncontrollable shaking, and they immediately think it means they're terrified, that they're weak. So does that shake really mean you're afraid? Not necessarily. And this is such a critical reframe. Don't interpret the shake as fear. Instead, choose to interpret it as your body being primed, ready for massive action. It's just unused energy vibrating through your system. It's a sign of readiness, not weakness. This quote just captures the entire philosophy perfectly. The chemical surge is an invitation to power, not a mandate for panic. That surge is a tool. Your job is to accept the invitation and use that power. And the key to all of it, the master skill that holds it all together, is controlling your breath. If you can control your breath, you can control the crisis. Which really brings us to our final takeaway. We often think of courage as not feeling fear, right? As not having that adrenaline surge at all. But true courage, that's not the absence of adrenaline. It's feeling that surge hit you, feeling all of its raw power, and then choosing to master's application. From all of us at The Other Way, Personal Sovereignty and Safety, thank you for joining us today. Stay centered and stay safe out there.